Yeah, okay, let's go over how to use Beb.Tools with AI. There's no integration necessarily, but they work well together. I'll show you exactly what I mean. So let's just go and get like a Sketchfab model or something so I can have a problem to solve. Let's type in the word pack car, sure. Shout out Comrade 1280. Let's just download that really quickly. Uh, Take the GLB, that's fine. Enter. Take that. Oh, actually, I needed that. I want to drag from there. That's easier to just drag from this thing. Let's just place that into here. Import. Okay, so now we have this model from Sketchfab in here. I'll show you quickly on the side. Let's just delete all of this stuff. So now we have just this Sketchfab model. All right, so looking at this scene here, I can see that we have this empty here, this empty here, this empty here, a bunch more empties here. And within these empties, if I really take this over, I can see we have all these models within the empties. Then maybe perhaps I didn't want to have a... let's actually think about how to solve this problem real quick. So this is probably a vehicle, compact body. It doesn't seem like the wheels are part of it, which is interesting. If we go and look at the wheels right here, this is a separate thing. Wheel C002 has nothing to do with this thing. Awesome. So that's interesting that the body and the wheels are not together, but we'll figure that out. Hmm. Okay. And then this one, it's probably the same thing. So we have all these vehicles together and then wheels together, kinda. This is just one wheel. This is a different wheel. Fascinating. Okay. Okay, so I think the way I would approach this is actually to just get rid of everything. So you can do this part manually. I would hit A here, and I would go right click, parent, clear and keep transformation. And this is going to break everything up. So now the empties and the objects are no longer paired together, but now they're separate and we need to clean up the scene a little bit. So we need to get rid of all of these empties. So we can use AI in a way. We can just tell ChatGPT in this context, write me a Blender 4.2 script that deletes all empties from the scene. Cool. Does enter not work? That's weird. Okay. All right, and then typically you would take something like this and hit copy and go to scripting and hit new and click in here and go over here and hit run. All right, this is a normal way to do something like this. But with Beb.Tools, we can integrate it a little bit better. So I can create a new script and then we'll tell it what it is. So delete all empties and hit OK and click on this. And if we click on this edit button here, so now it just stays on, we can just click here, edit, paste, save, OK, run. So now we edited our new script, pasted in the code, and ran it. If I close this now, we can see that we have this as a tool that we can use in the future, and we know that it works because we just did it. Right, so this will just stay here forever, and then you can move and create a custom folder and place it wherever you want, right? Because now you have a tool added instead of a one-shot that's gone forever after you're done with the session. Okay, so at this point, we need to figure out how to group everything well. So let's actually go to material preview. Do these have textures? I'm curious. I have a 39, you can't load anything. Awesome. Oh, wait, these are actually kind of nice looking. Wow, I'm kind of impressed. Wow. All right, let's get rid of the floor. We just don't need that. And let's say we wanted to get all of these cars all nice and organized. Let's give us a little bit of room back here. There's not really a way to get this grouped better because things are kind of all over the place. Um, But I have an idea. Let's go. If I were to go in wireframe mode, I can make sure that everything that I'm highlighting is selected. All right, write me a Blender 4.2 script, because that's what we're working in, that creates no. I could, okay, yeah, let's just do it. Let's sorry. Right? In Blender, I was thinking of one of two things. One, we could just join everything. But if you join everything, you lose that ability for things to be manipulated separately. And let's assume in this context that you want to keep the separation, right? So for what we'll do for this instead is write a Blender 4.2 script that looks at all of the selected objects, assumes the user selects objects first, and creates an empty for the selected object. Creates an empty and parents all okay. I'm doing this on the fly with you guys because I'm trying to think about what the next series of steps is. Because this is at an odd location, right? If I zero this, that's 0. Okay. If I zero this, it also moves there. But this is centered. That's a problem, right? Because if this is 0 and that's 0, the wheel is no longer aligned. Okay, that's annoying. Because essentially we do want to join them all now. And then we'd have to go back around and separate. Okay. We need a way to re-separate them though. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna check the shading. So if I go to shading and I click on this, so this has a glass 0, this has body 0, this is wheel 0, this is wheel 0. Are other things wheel 0? Wheel 1, wheel, body 4, wheel 3. Okay, that's consistent. Weak, got it. Wheel 4, wheel 7, wheel 4, that's probably the same thing I just did. Wheel 2, wheel 6. Okay, so the wheels are unique, which is fantastic. That makes or somewhat unique. I think there are probably some that are the same. But we'll get to that when we get to that. Okay. We will do the join first. Write a Blender. No, we don't need that. Frick. Close this. Select all. Control J is how you join things. So we're just gonna rotate around. J. Join. Why don't you let me hotkey that? Active object is not a selectable mesh. Weird. Does it wants a primary? Probably. Yeah. So you can't you have to like do that. Basically I had to set a primary object by clicking on the top one every time. I'm holding control to select the primary, join, and this will clean things up a little bit. It doesn't really matter what I pick. We can just rename it on the back end anyway. This is just what we kind of have to do. Okay, so now all these vehicles are like this. So that's, what is that, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10 vehicles. 3, 4, 5, 5, 10. Okay, so everything is nice and organized in terms of how things are combined. And we can see the materials are what separates them on the back end. So that's awesome. So we kind of have a path here. So what we can do now is write a Blender script that sets the location to 0, 0, 0 for all objects in the scene. Interesting that enter doesn't work, but whatever. Let's go here. That's a ChatGPT issue. New script. Set 000 for all objects. Here's our new script. Okay. Copy. Click. Edit, paste, save. Okay. Run. Hide. Awesome. Now all the objects are in the center. Next, we want the rotation to be 0. So if I zero this out, it's actually facing up, which is problematic. Let's try XYZ Euler and try 0. It's down. 0. Negative 90. What is 90? Okay, so we need negative 90, 0, 0. Okay. For write a script. Now that ChatGPT knows the context, we can basically tell it less. So write a script that sets all objects in the scene to rotation XYZ Euler and sets it to negative 90, 0, 0. Let's see, that's so irritating. Just let enter be send. Okay. I'm assuming that it's going to know X is the first one. Cool. Let's see that. Beb.Tools, new, set negative 90, 0, 0, XYZ Euler. Sure. This is one that might actually just stay a one shot. Maybe I don't rank the script for that. Okay, so it worked, except two of them are just playing in their own little world over here. But I mean, that's kind of all you can ask for anyway. Let's go top view. I hit 7. 7 is top view on the number pad. And let's just go RZ and just manually fix this one. RZ, and then just kind of manually get that pretty much lined up like that. It's not going to get much better. There we go. So that vehicle's fixed. They are all sitting in the center. Cool. So now all the vehicles are facing the right way, and they're all in the center, and that's pretty much it. If you wanted all of these to be separate objects again, we can do a couple things. We could go write a script, create a collection for all objects in the scene. Is that enough information? Jesus. Why doesn't this be enter? I'm still complaining about the same thing. This should just be send with the enter key. Whatever. This here, new script, create collection for each object in scene. Enter, enter. Hit, edit, paste, save. Okay, run. Hide this. Oh, I wasn't specific. Sorry. It should be one collection for each object. Like, there's no hotkey to make that work. That's so annoying. Like, I'm trying Control, Enter, Shift, Enter. It's usually the opposite, right? Am I crazy? It's usually Shift, Enter is new line, and then Enter is send. Whatever. Whatever. Let's go back here. It's trying to do the task for us. Copy that. Click on this. Edit, paste, save. Okay, run. All right, there we go. Now we have a collection for each of these things here. And you can just continue this type of workflow sort of infinitely, where let's say write a script for each collection in the scene. If it begins with collection, remove that part from the name. For example, if a collection is called collection apple, we want it to be found and renamed to Apple. Oh my god, the enter thing. Okay. And then, okay, let's make a new script. Rename collections. So here, copy, click, database save, run. There you go. Clean that up a little bit. Awesome. So now we have things kind of named a little better. We can do the same thing. I think this is a good example of where we could actually do the manual edit, where it's looking for collection. Oh, it's looking for a prefix. Um, yeah, starts with. It doesn't really matter. You can just ask it if you wanted to get rid of the. Uh, yeah, I'll just do it. Let's say you wanted to get rid of this. You just tell it all of my collections in the scene contain this. Right? Let's remove that from all collections in the scene. Write a script. Ooh, the enter gets me every time. I'm not learning. Okay. I'm just gonna reuse this one because it's a weird one anyway. Copy, click, edit, paste, save. Okay, run. Um, pull this over, and we can see here that they're all nice and renamed now. I don't really care what the name of the. Oh, look, it didn't catch this one. Or this one. Is it case sensitive? It's body 0. Sorry, close this. I'm getting confused. Oh yeah, it's case sensitive. So we'll just pull this back open, make this a low B, scroll this over, save, click, run. There you go. That's the rest of them. Now we have everything in nice, neat little collections. Hide this. We can see our cars are in the proper spot. Let's go write a script that invokes a pop-up menu for the user to select a path folder. We want to export each collection in the scene to an individual .gob file to the path the user specifies. Let's see if we can do it. Create a new script to get ready. Batch, export collections to GLB. Oh, yep. Enter. Scroll down. It's cooking. This one might be worth saving for future use. It's pretty general. Yeah, let's see how it spits this out. Click, batch export, edit. Oh, sorry, edit, paste, save. Okay. This should do it. So if I hit run, ooh. Okay, this is a great example of it won't work with mains. Mains expect a plugin. So this needs to work without the use of main. That's a little bit of knowledge you would have kind of had to know. But basically, yeah, if you ever see this, the if name equal main, it's expecting it to be operating within a plugin, so it may or may not work in the actual script editor, but you can just tell it, hey, don't do that, and it won't do it. It's pretty cool. So we'll click on this, edit, paste, save. Okay, run. So here's your pop-up. Let's just make a new folder real quick. I'll call it batch. Enter on batch. Okay, and select export folder, and it should do it. Now if I go into scripts, document, batch, I'm just gonna zoom this out and go view large icon, extra large icon, extra large please. So here's our 10. If I click on sport, here is the vehicle centered in the scene as an individual GLB. We just kind of extracted them all and we got them all kind of, ready. for whatever we're trying to do. Okay, and then at that point, this is a good basis for well, whatever it is you're trying to accomplish. We just got a pack and we got them individualized and into 10 different GLB files and network connection. What the hell? Anyway, let's say you wanted to separate them again. All right, I guess it needs to recook that. Write a script that looks at all objects in the scene and separates the objects if they are linked to a separate material. I don't know how to spell separate apparently. Note that if the objects are in a collection, to keep them within their corresponding collection. Let's see if it works. Let's also fix that. Thank you. It's sep AR 8s. I hit enter again. So then this way we'll break things up again properly. Let's see how this does. If you don't like this joined. Okay, let's go new script, sep AR8 materials. Separate objects. Yeah, that's better. By material. Yeah, that's good. Cool. Edit script, copy, separate objects by material, edit, paste, save. Okay, run. And it did okay. I think. How's it look? Yep, everything still looks intact. Yep, now they're separated. Write a script that looks at the material names of all objects in the scene and renames the, what is this thing called again? This does not say. Outliner ID and object ID. Renames the outliner ID and object to match the name of the material. Let's give an example. For example, if apple is the object name and it has an outliner ID of a pear of orange and a material called grape, the object name should be renamed to grape. The outliner ID, let's rename to grape mesh, and the material will remain named as grape. Let's see if we can do that. Probably can. All right, at this point, we are going to just make a new script, call this rename objects based on materials. Okay, and then these materials, and then just copy this, click on this, click edit, paste, save, hit run, and there you go. Objects for mesh, objects for glass 4, probably glass 4, glass 4. So everything is now named according to your materials, and you have a quick way to keep everything nice and organized if you wanted to. And this should change absolutely nothing. So if I go back and we do another batch export GLB, just make sure I'm in that batch folder, hit export. This folder should be, where the heck is it? Hold on. Let's go down with documents. Batch. There it is. View large icons so you can see things. And there we go. Still looks good. If we really want to check them, we could do something like a GLTF report. Yeah, I guess so. A GLTF report like that. Put that same one in there. Okay, there's the object. I can see that we have, yeah, that's the one that's called wick. But yeah, there it is. The materials are there. The names match the material names as we kind of defined it to be. So yeah, I mean that's how I am doing this in batch. If you wanted to, you could clean these up to be more specific towards what you want and then create a queue for them, right? Because everything I did technically had an order of operations, and then you can kind of create a queue for that order of operations for future uses if you know you have to repeat something many, many times, especially if something's in a format that is repeatable, right? Like if you have to process 1,000 files for whatever reason, um, and they're all in the same type or format or naming convention, whatever it is, the queue system comes in real handy there, right? Because now you can just continue to run things in batch and just use AI as a little assistant to help you create these little small tools that together are kind of crazy. But yeah, that's kind of how I would approach doing whatever it is I'm trying to do um, with AI. You can use AI in a way, and this keeps it actually very cheap, you could say, right? Because you're not actually using any API tokens. You're just using the direct chat feature as like a sidebar tool while you're working in Blender. And then this edit paste save kind of bridges that gap um, that allows you to do things, right? Because we can just keep going. Now you have a method of exporting GLB into individual files. It's fantastic. Uh, but there's no limit. So we could continue and do um, I don't know. Let's go and go. Let's just add a camera into the scene. Um, I'm gonna cheat a little bit. I have a script that does this. Create camera 3D view. Just gonna run that real quick. There we go. And then hide the panel. And then hit O on the number pad. Oh, hello. O on the number pad. Is that not doing it? That's weird. O on the number. Oh, number lock. There it is. And then we're just gonna kind of just click on the camera, which is hidden in one of these for some reason. Pull it out, click on this, GZ up, GY this way, GX this way, GZ down, or nope, RZ kind of this way. Let's go over here, let's go over here. Uh, what's a car? So you kind of want the side view, right? Damn. RZ, kind of like maybe this way, this way, this way. GX, GY. GZ, actually, no, GZ down, R, X, R, Y. Somewhere in this angle, GZ down, nope, R, X, R, Y. I really should have did it from the front. Hold on, hold on. Let's just go here. Let's go one view, A, mesh, nope, sorry, camera, 0, G, Y, G, Z slightly, G, Y, forward, kind of like this, G, Z, up slightly, I kind of like this angle, R, X, slightly down, like that. Let's go into this menu here, um, here, let's just do, I don't know, we'll go square, it's fine, pull this back down, grab the camera's in the thing again, pull that out, click on this, and pull this over. Well, actually, yeah, we don't need to see that. We can just GY. Kind of like that somewhere. Yeah, we can just grab all these now. Just make sure everything is selected. 0, RZ. I'm gonna show you guys a cool little trick. Stepping outside of using this for a moment and doing stuff that I've created for us. This is a bounding box. Create a bounding box for all objects. A bounding box is a... Oh, all the objects are, are separated. Damn. Oh, now we still want them separate. Okay, let's just undo. That's a little annoying because I actually want them back to being together. I'm just gonna manually do it. Click, click, click. J. Click, 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 J. Yeah, let's do this 10 times. I could have wrote a script that said look at all collections and join all objects within the collections, and that would work. But we're also done. Okay, so everything's joined again. Back in camera view, create a bounding box. Um, this would require you to know what a bounding box is, right? So a bounding box is a empty cube that is exactly the dimensions of the farthest left, right, top, down, front, back point, right? So this box is exactly the size of the object in all dimensions, right? You kind of see what I'm saying? It's the highest point, lowest point, farthest point in all directions, right? So what does that mean? That allows you to get a perfect center and everything, okay? That means we know exactly what the center of the object is based on the dimensions. Then we can use another script that creates a new empty box and scales all bounding boxes to fit in that empty box. So if I run this, all of the objects are now going to be perfectly fit to this box. However, we have a little bit of a sizing problem here, so I'm just going to manually fix this by selecting all of these and just scaling them down. And I can see I missed two. I missed this one, and I missed this one. And if I scale this down, just make that really, really small, because it's irrelevant, and then create a box and scale that in it. Let's first take a look at why that's happening. It could be because of this. Okay, so let's go and let's make the location for all empty 0. Now they're all centered. That's probably what we're missing. And then we'll go to create a bounding box empty run. Okay, so now everything fits perfectly because of that issue there with the location information being wrong. But now all the boxes are fit perfectly. If I move this up, we can kind of get this centered. If I scale this up, we can try to get this within our camera box for the most part. Um, Pretty nice. And maybe we'll just zoom in dramatically somewhere around here. Get this a little bit lower, maybe somewhere in this area. And let's make sure we're snapped into our camera. This is what our camera sees, this little gray box here. If I want to, at this point, I'll take this big box because it's the parent box, and we'll rotate it maybe this way, and then scale this maybe this way, and maybe bring this whole box somewhat over here. And I'm using the box as a guideline for how much I can push the object. Actually, what if we just do a complete side view of the car? Kind of like a racing game would, I guess. Yeah, imagine you're trying to make your icons for your racing game. Let's also switch to this camera type completely. Let's go here, switch this to orthographic. So it's it's more like this. And grab the scaler and then just pull this up. The dimension we have to watch out for is the left and right. So we can see here I have a very little margin on the left and right, but maybe that's what we want. Maybe it's not. Let's go one click in. Let's go, yeah, somewhere in this area, this vicinity here. I can see my top and bottom isn't the same, so this is closer to what we want. Something around this area is perfectly fine. Okay, now let's write a script that looks at all collections in this scene and renders an image for each collection while hiding all other collections. Before we do this, invoke a pop-up that allows the user to select the path that these renders should be saved to. Let's not use main. Remember not to use main. Yeah. Cool. And we'll hit run. And then now we're basically going to generate icons is where we got to with this thing. Back, new script. render all collections. Where is that? Right there? Okay, we need to make sure that the render mode is actually going to do anything, right? So let's go into render. There's no light in here. Let's just do something about that. I mean, I guess I can just make the, yeah, I'll just do the classic shading, really, right, world, color, max white, go back into viewport or layout, and now we have max white, copy code, over here, render all collections, edit, paste, save, okay, and run, and it should open a pop-up. If I go to batch, and I just create a new folder in here and call it renders, open up renders folder, select render output, it should be doing it. We should be able to watch that on this side here. Oh, look, it's done. Okay. View, extra large icons. And now you have a render of every single object in that scene. Yeah. Let's say, oops, touch the mic. Let's say we wanted it to be transparent. We can do both. Let's modify the script so it renders all objects, renders everything, and then renders them again with transparent background enabled, and have the naming convention of the transparent background renders the underscore transparent. That's very vague. I think I can do it. You can probably specify JPEG too if you wanted to have lightweight ones. Probably should have did that. That way you can have the lightweight one and a transparent one for whatever you're doing. Right there, click, edit, paste, save, okay, run. Batch, renders, render. There we go. So now we have our regular one and transparent ones. You can see here, they're transparent. And well, that's it. We just figured out how to batch run these and create renders for all of these as if they were icons for whatever we're trying to do. And we have the GLBs for them, right? So it's a very cool way we can very quickly process files at scale. I think at this point, there's not too much else I can really teach you. It's kind of exploratory, right? At this point, you kind of just do what you want to do. Use this tool in combination with this tool, and then just make a new folder when you're done, and be like, this is the car car. Okay, yeah. And then in this context, it's so much scripts I might manually just put it in there because like you can click on this and click move and then car and hit OK. We can just do that over and over, but you can also just open up this, right? And then we know everything out here just goes in car. Right, and then close, and then just hit refresh, and now they're all in car. Right, so this is all the stuff you used in the car, and then you could create a car queue if you wanted to simulate or replicate parts of the process that you know work, and then just run the queue for similar operations, right? But that's basically it. We created a process for something that you may or may not need a plugin or multiple plugins for, but you made it based on your needs on the fly, which is, I think, super, super cool. That's pretty much it, though, for a very raw demonstration of how I would approach a problem like this and create icons and get the GLBs ready. Yeah, it's kind of up to you. Figure out exactly what you want to do, and this tool enables you to do it very, very, very quickly, in my opinion, and then save it for later. Because once you create your tool set, you can always go back to it, right? Like these will always be useful. Kind of similar to when I was doing the bounding boxes. Because that's a problem I solved before, I didn't want to do it again. I was just like, okay, I just know I need to create a bounding box and I need to scale it to that bounding box. That's why I have that script. And then you can just link that to this. You want to create and share your scripts because you think they're useful. Maybe someone donates to you. Maybe they don't. They probably won't because the economy is great right now. Uh, but this still allows that UGC environment to thrive in a way where everyone can create and contribute and show what they've done and how it's useful with each other. Um, but yeah, that's the state in which we are in right now and how to use it with AI. It's pretty useful in my opinion. It's pretty useful. Um, yeah, let me know. Let me know what you think. If it works for you, if there's problems, I'll fix them. But yeah, peace.